What's up, LEGO builders? Welcome back to Coconut Brick Studios for another episode of building the second battle of Geonosis in LEGO. This week I'm going to be tackling more terrain work. I'm trying to get multiple layers on Geonosis. I don't want the terrain to be all completely flat one level. I'd like there to be at least a couple different layers or levels there. So I'm going to be working on that, and I'm going to be making some major changes to the rear middle section of the Moc, taking out the existing frame and part of the Moc and putting something new in right there. And I'm also going to be working on remodeling I've also got some sweet decaled 41st Elite Corps troops to show you guys, and I'm going to be working on one of the AV7 anti-vehicle cannons. I want to build one, and then I want to completely remodel one from start to finish so that I can have two, like a before and after, just to kind of show you guys the different changes and like what, how much of a transformation these went through, and then I can remodel the other one pretty quickly. I'm excited to get started on that. I have had some parts come in for it, but I do have a lot more on the way. Real quick before we jump into the video, if you're excited for all of the renovations, decaled clones, and terrain stuff that you're going to be seeing, don't forget to smash that like button. And while you're down there, you might as well hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, so you'll be notified of all my future content. All that being said, it's time to get building. All right, kicking off another week of building Geonosis and LEGO. I have a feeling this is going to be a good week. Starting out with a haul, we got a bunch of parts for Geonosis. So I've got some orange wedge plates in here, a decent amount. These are very critical for this week because I'm going to be working on this area some more, getting this little ridge built and put in place, and I was running low on wedge plates. Actually, I think I ran out, so I was so happy to see those come in at the beginning of the week. And then I also got some parts for the cannons. I've got this piece, these dark bluish gray cylinders, some more wedge plates in there, and then I think there's more stuff sprinkled in here. I think I've got like a hinge piece somewhere, but I do also have some stuff for Kata and Amoria that I got to put on the table over there. So I'm really happy this stuff came in. I also wanted to show you guys my 41st Elite Corps decaled clone troopers. They turned out so cool. I am really happy with these guys. I'm loving the look here. I do have one more. He still needs to be put together, but he's all decaled and sealed. I really like the arm decals. At first I was a little hesitant. I typically prefer no printing or decaling on the arms just because it's easier and it matches the rest of my clone troopers, but these guys look really cool. The only problem I had, and it's no fault of the decals, is this. Some of these helmets, you just put them on and they just pop off like that. See if I try and hook them on. So that's kind of annoying because then I just have to set them on there like that. But all in all, these guys are going to look really sweet in the Moc. I do only have 5 because, this Moc is only so big. Can only fit so many clone troopers, but I would like to get more of these in the future. So laying out some plans for the week, I'd like to get some work done on this little ridge that I was showing you guys. I got to get all this orange torn up, and I'm actually going to be doing some remodeling back here. I had an idea while I was coming home today to change up this section and do something a little bit different back here, so I'd like to get started on that this week. All that being said, I got a lot to do, so it's time to get building. So now it's time to show you what I've been talking about wanting to do on that back middle part of the Moc. So you can see I'm tearing out a large chunk of the side frame, the plates underneath, as well as the terrain on top. This is going to be a pretty big adjustment. I actually want to put kind of like a small valley there in the back of the Moc. So what I'm going to be doing is tearing out that section and then rebuilding it with just plate. So it'll be, basically flush with the ground, and then slowly, gradually, it will get higher and higher until it's level with the normal terrain. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this is because I was thinking about putting like some kind of small command center or, group of leaders there in the back behind the cannons planning. And I felt like it would be cool to have them down in like this almost like bunker or trench looking thing. That way they're not completely exposed to the battle and the elements. And I realized, as my Moc currently stood, there was no place to really do that effectively. They would have been on the same plane as basically everything else. So I feel like this will help give them a little bit more of a sectioned off area of the Moc to kind of help separate a little bit and kind of show, they're not necessarily taking part in the action right now. They're, planning or doing something else. So what I'm going to be doing is putting down a bunch of wedge plates there on the bottom, so that way the bottom of the valley isn't like 100% flat. It's got some curve to it, just like the rest of the Moc. So I think that'll help make that back area look a little bit more dynamic and natural. Once I get all that played in, I'm basically just going to be building a little flat area there on the bottom, and then trying to figure out how I can get it to, plane in with the rest of the Moc. So I'm going to have to put some brick down and some plate down and basically create these natural steps leading up to the upper terrain. I just got done redesigning the legs for my AV7 anti-vehicle cannon. I am much happier with what I have now. They look a lot more accurate and just a lot better, a lot sturdier. So the main thing I wanted to capture when redoing the legs was capturing the right color scheme and getting those clamp looking things and getting those, the feet that look kind of like clamps on the bottom. You can see I've got that. You can see I've got that built pretty well. Just a couple of inverted slopes. And then I've got the new color change right here with the dark bluish gray legs and the upper thigh area, I guess, upper legs being light bluish gray. You can see compared to the old one, they are much beefier, much more sturdy looking. These look like they could, support an artillery cannon while they're firing. Not so much these. And then also on the bottom of my old one, they're just kind of like a pyramid shape. So much happier with this look now. They obviously use a lot more pieces, so I was able to redo both of these, but I think I'm going to have to order in more parts to be able to do the rest of the legs. I did also stick some wedge plates on the side to kind of make the lower legs look bigger, beefier, and thicker than they actually are. And those are just stuck on by one of those bricks with a stud on one side. You can see here's a cross-sections look at what's going on in here. So I had to get a little bit technical with this other inverted slope. Just so that I was able to get it in at the right angle. I used one of those plates with studs on one side, then connected it to a 2x3, which was jutting out this way, and then hooked that inverted slope on the back. Then you can see over there I've got a couple of those 1x1 studs with a stud on one side to kind of keep these wedge plates in place. All in all, I think these look much more accurate and just so much better. Like, I can't tell you how happy I am now that these are done and they look as good as they do. I also finished that back area that I was working on in the time-lapse, kind of that little valley. I'm really happy I put this in. I feel like it adds a lot more to the back of the Moc, and it'll just be a lot more fun to have this little section to play with and build stuff on. So it's mostly done. I still need to, kind of tile off and plate off this edge here. I'm basically going to have it bleed into this second layer right here that's, above the original layer. So this is going to come around this way, this layer of wedge plates, and then it's going to wind back this way, come over here, and then probably come off over here in this section. I'm pretty happy with how it looks so far. It was really hard to not make it look super square because, that's kind of like the chunk I took out was pretty rectangular. I'm probably going to have to play around a little bit more, add some more parts in right here to make it look a little bit more rounded because that's kind of the shape I'm going for. But all in all, pretty happy with it so far. And that'll wrap up another successful week of building Geonosis. This week was definitely a really good week for both planning and progress, as I was able to get a better vision for what I want to happen up here, as well as, getting those legs built and planned on the cannon. I did also do a bunch more work with this ridge right here. I'm actually having a lot of trouble with it. I don't typically build with wedge plates like this, so I'm really struggling to get a natural looking shape going here, especially because I don't have a lot of variety when it comes to wedge plates, and I think that's what I need the most so that I don't have these long diagonal lines, have more natural jagged looking curves like that. So I might have to see if I can find different kinds of slopes there to get that look that I want. All that being said, it's time to hit the outro. I hope you guys enjoyed this week of building Geonosis, the second battle of Geonosis in LEGO. Honestly, this was probably my favorite episode so far. I had a lot of fun putting in that little section in the back of the Moc. I feel like it'll make it look a lot more interesting and just, help the Moc look more realistic. I don't want this Moc to be too flat because it is a desert, there's not a whole lot going on, but it's also not a tabletop. I'm super happy with how those legs look on my AV7 anti-vehicle cannon. I am so excited to get these things all the way done. Not only are they going to make the Moc look so much better, but I'm going to be a lot more proud and excited about these cannons, and I can't wait to display them behind me once this whole Moc is all finished up. That wraps up this video, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to let me know what you thought about this video down below in the comments, and I will catch you guys later, but until next time, happy building.